YouTube, man.
right now. Are you
YouTube, man. Welcome back to another video. Hey, man, we got an update on the Chauncey Billups FBI gambling situation. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This shit is getting kind of crazy, bro. I ain't like it's getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to the point where I'm gonna have to start posting this on my main channel. I gotta speak on this situation. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Bro, I'm gonna be completely honest with niggas right now, bro. Yo, bro, like niggas gotta lock in. Um, we're seeing a lot of gambling and shit going on. A lot of weird shit been happening. These last like few weeks. You know what I'm saying? With money, um, deaths. You know what I'm saying, bro? Nigga, a Cowboys player just killed himself today. Kneeling. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. But bro, it's been a lot of weird shit going on, and we gotta protect our energy, bro. And bro, right now, niggas cannot hide from nothing right now, bro. I just watched a video about. I just watched Soul Illuminati, Spiritual Soul, Shout the Soul. He dropped a video called The Watchers. Bro, it's niggas watching, bro. It's niggas watching certain people right now, bro, and it's getting serious. Niggas been losing jobs. Niggas been getting caught for doing gambling shit. It's been a lot of shit going on. 2026, you're gonna see a lot of motherfuckers getting in trouble. A lot of niggas is gonna be in 2026. Niggas is there gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be getting locked up for doing shit that they weren't supposed to do. And 2026 is gonna be a sit your ass down type of year. Not gonna lie, but let's get into the video, bro.
U.S. Congressional Committee met with NBA officials yesterday in response to the indictments of Portland's coach Chauncey Billups and the Heat's guard Terry Rozier and former player and coach Damon Jones. Members of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce had questions about the league's partnerships with sports books and about measures taken to prevent the illegal use of non-public information. Damon Jones will face a judge in New York today. He is accused of sharing injury information on LeBron James for gambling purposes. And so when we have these kind of questions, we bring in Ryan Smith, who's our legal analyst extraordinaire, and it's been a long time. Ryan, good morning, and thank you for doing this. So what do you expect to happen? What should we be expecting to happen in court today with Damon Jones?
So, Greeny, today is Damon Jones's arraignment, and essentially that starts the clock for a number of things in his case. He's going to go in the courtroom, he'll be with his lawyer, he'll be identified by the judge, he'll probably waive the reading of the charges against him because he already knows them, and then at that point, he will be asked for a plea in this case. He's likely to plead not guilty. At that point, there becomes a discussion about bond, about bail, how he can be released and put up some money in order to be released while this whole thing is pending. But when I mention it starts the clock, it also starts things like discovery. It starts things like getting the evidence that the government has against Damon Jones to try to figure out what they're trying to say about him and how they can fight it. So for him, this is a big day. It's not only getting released, it's not only making the plea, it's not only being informed of all his rights, but it's I want the information from the government that they have against me with these allegations they're making.
Now, Chauncey Billups is involved in a similar but different situation. By now,
Yeah.
people have read about it, this scheme to rig underground poker games. What should we be expecting?
Asked for a plea in this case, he's likely to plead not guilty. At that point, there becomes a discussion about bond, about bail, how he can be released and put up some money in order to be released while this whole thing is pending. But when I mention it starts the clock, it also starts things like discovery. It starts things like getting the evidence that the government has against Damon Jones to try to figure out what they're trying to say about him and how they can fight it. So for him, this is a big day. It's not only getting released, it's not only making the plea, it's not only being informed of all his rights, but it's I want the information from the government that they have against me with these allegations they're making.
Now, Chauncey Billups is involved in a similar but different situation.
So basically, if you take the plea, I mean, like right now they saying he's not guilty, but they saying that like he might be guilty of like they said he might be guilty of like doing a side like having side conversations with players like not playing and betting on that too. So I don't
By
know.
now, people have read about it, this scheme to rig underground poker games. What should we be expecting his defense against those charges to be?
Yeah, it's early days, so he's got to get that information, and he gets arraigned right now, at least on November 24th. But assuming what we know right now, which are all allegations, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts arguing, I am not a part of the conspiracy. Now, think about that. You're talking about rigged poker games, and he's alleged to be the face card. He's alleged to be that draw that brings in the potential victims who the government says were defrauded. He might start saying, well, look, somebody called me and said, we're going to pay you to show up at a poker game. That, in some ways, is no different from somebody calling an athlete and saying, show up at a card signing. And so for him, maybe his defense is, hey, I was paid to show up at something. I didn't know about the scheme. I didn't know about all these other things. I didn't have any intent. And if you don't have any knowledge or intent of the scheme, you can argue that you're not a part of the conspiracy. I wonder if that will be what he argues.
And then there's Terry Rozier, who, like Billups, is on leave from the NBA right now. Rozier is accused of using insider information to influence bets on at least cents against those charges to be.
Days, so he's got to get that information, and he gets arraigned right now, at least on November 24th. But assuming what we know right now, which are all allegations, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts arguing, I am not a part of the conspiracy. Now, think about that. You're talking about rigged poker games, and he's alleged to be the face card. He's alleged to be that draw that brings in the potential victims who the government says were defrauded. He might start saying, well, look, somebody called me and said, we're going to pay you to show up at a poker game. That, in some ways, is no different from somebody calling an athlete and saying, show up at a card signing. And so for him, maybe his defense is, hey, I was paid to show up at something. I didn't know about the scheme. I didn't know about all these other things. I didn't have any intent. And if you don't have any knowledge or intent of the scheme, you can argue that you're not a part of the conspiracy. I wonder if that will be what he argues.
And then there's Terry Rozier, who, like Billups, is on
Okay.
leave from the NBA right now. Rozier is accused of using insider information to influence bets on at least 7 games. What's the latest on his case?
So his case, he's scheduled to be arraigned in early December. And it's the same thing that happens with Billups and with Jones. He'll come in, he'll plead, most likely not guilty. He'll ask for a bond. He'll ask to be released. And then he gets that discovery. And his case, of course, is different. It's the games where he had inside information. The allegations against him are that he communicated that he was going to pull himself from a game, that bettors got that information, played the unders, and won money on that, and that defrauded the betting companies. So he's going to try to argue that, but he needs to get that evidence from the government beyond what we've seen in the indictments, and that's just scratching the surface. So in December, he'll get his day in court, he'll plead not guilty, and then his discovery process starts as well.
Man, this is bro. All of this is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, this is crazy, man. It's just like, bro, it's never that serious. You know what I'm saying? To put yourself, your career, and your family at risk. It's never that deep. It's never that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all already making millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, bro. Now let's get into this one. 'Cause I ain't really.
Out of millions, prosecutors said. He's still in court, pleading not guilty to conspiracy charges in the second case, alleging that he provided inside information about an injury to LeBron James before a 2023 game to a sports bettor.
Okay, so Aaron, what happens?
That he provided inside information about an injury to LeBron James before a 2023 game to a sports bettor.
Okay, so Aaron, what happens next in this case?
So a federal judge said that even though Jones pleaded not guilty today, he is considering whether to engage in plea talks to actually change his plea.
This is what I was talking about. Like side talks about players not playing.
Plead guilty to at least some of the indictment and try and resolve the case before it goes to trial. That kind of a deal.
So like, are they getting jail time?
Deal could require him to cooperate against some of the 30-odd other defendants in the case. And remember what prosecutors have said about Damon Jones. He was there for both of these schemes, and so it's possible he could name additional names. It's also possible he could give up information about some of his co-defendants, like, say, Chauncey Billups, who's due here for his arraignment later this month.
Aaron Katersky.
Basically, he can snitch on bro. He can snitch on Chauncey. Tough.
Our ABC News chief investigative correspondent, thank you so much for your time. As you mentioned, Billups' arraignment is slated for November 24th, and then Terry Rozier's is scheduled for December 8th. That's in federal court. also in Brooklyn. So for more on how this impacts the league moving forward, we're joined by David Purdom and our Shams Charania. Shams, I'm going to start with you here because you reported that a congressional committee met with NBA officials following these indictments. So what more can you tell us about that meeting that unfolded? What took place there?
Malika, the congressional committee called the House of on Energy and Commerce met with league officials on Wednesday afternoon for about an hour in Washington, D.C. Adam Silver was not there, but a group of league officials were there to meet with these congressional members, specifically discussing the NBA's partnership with sportsbooks, how you can prevent the illegal use of non-public information, and how the NBA handles its own investigations into sports betting. I am told the league was cooperative in briefing the congressional members. The sides had productive conversations, and this congressional committee plus a separate Senate committee are both researching NBA protocols. Talks are going to continue between the government, between the NBA, as well as the sports books. And here you somewhat have the NBA on the front lines of an issue around sports books and on prop bets and how the sports books and the leagues can work to really regulate that. And then from the league's perspective, how do they handle injury reporting that has an impact on sports betting?
Yeah, it feels like this is not the last time an incident like this could come up, and so the league having to have steps and procedures in place is going to be paramount moving forward. David, where does the NBA stand with the sports books in terms of addressing the integrity issues that we're seeing come up here?
Yeah, the NBA has partnerships with over a dozen sports books, including the two biggest as their co-official sponsors, FanDuel and DraftKings. They remain in ongoing conversations. They're always kind of looking at the betting menus, trying to identify which types of bet offerings may be the most vulnerable to manipulation. Before the season, they actually asked their sports books to not take any wagers, not offer wagering on will a player miss or make a free throw. They didn't want them taking bets on whether they would commit a foul or whether they would commit a turnover. And just today, the New York State Gaming Association, Gaming Commission.
Hey, this is off topic, but I just got some news that Antonio Brown just got arrested for attempted murder charge stemming from a May 16th shooting after a celebrity boxing event in Miami.
Reached out to the NBA
Crazy,
and said,
bro.
hey, we have this lever in our statutes where the leagues can come to us and say, we're not comfortable with these types of bets. So now we're going to see if the NBA is going to reach back out and execute some of those levers that they have to control the betting menu.
What are the contributing factors? Can we just go back to the beginning of how we got to this contentious couple of days?
Well, Zach Kleiman, the general manager of Memphis, took a couple of big risks this summer. One was hiring a coach who, as accomplished as he is in Europe, as intelligent as he is not well known to NBA players, does a lot of very unconventional things. And the risk there is you're not going to be able to get the buy-in from your stars. Clearly, that has been an issue. The other risk, and this is going to be a risk either way, decided not to engage Ja Morant in discussions about a contract extension.
That's right.
Jaren Jackson Jr. got his max extension.
All right, y'all, that's the end of the video, man. Listen, everybody that's in this NBA gambling scandal, hopefully y'all make it out. I ain't gonna lie. And y'all black too, yeah, I don't want to see y'all behind bars. Especially Chauncey Billups. Like, bro, that's from what? Like, the energy and the word that comes from the league, Chauncey is a great guy. So, yeah, hopefully y'all get out of this situation. This is gonna get put on my main channel. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this get put on the main channel. I put it on the podcast, but clearly the podcast, like the numbers ain't really doing it over there. So I gotta bring it over here. Bro, it's getting crazy, bro. Like the niggas getting trials. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like nobody's gonna get sentenced to jail time. From what I've been hearing. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, who knows? I mean, the only one that might be getting some type of jail time is looking like it's gonna be Terry Rozier, because he was the one that was playing, and like, you know what I'm saying, he was going along with it. But I mean, like, he was actually like, because he's an active player, you know what I'm saying, actually, like, he flopping games on purpose. It's crazy. um but as far as Chauncey and Damon Jones, I mean, it sounds like Damon Jones, he gonna get off. Sounds like Chauncey might get off, but Terry Rozier, we don't know, bro. Like, he might be cooked. Terry Rozier might be cooked, yo. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy the video. Yeah, this Josh situation is tragic too. This nigga Bobby, bro, he's gone. He's out of Memphis. He's gone. And I just bought a jersey of this nigga too. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy the video, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe if you new. Hey, Freedom Boys. And I'm out, bro.